Back in 1996, I was utterly consumed by traditional RPGs. By that time, I had completed Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, and Super Mario RPG, and was looking forward to the genre's future. At that time, the Sony PlayStation appeared to be the console set to receive most of them. That same year, however, J-Force and Sega threw a curveball on the Saturn by releasing Dragon Force, a strategy-oriented RPG that blew my mind. Its complex story, strategic-oriented gameplay, and stunning combat filled with moving sprites really stood out. Working Designs also localized the game with its trademark flair and creative dialogue, which made the experience all the more enjoyable. Despite the game's appeal, however, the first Dragon Force would mark both the beginning and the end of the franchise in North America. Even so, the development team released Dragon Force 2 in Japan only for the Saturn in 1998, and most of us stateside probably never even realized it. Thankfully for us RPG enthusiasts today, the game is fully playable via a translation patch that was first released in 2015. Verve Fanworks, a talented group of amateur localizers, sifted through thousands of words of dialogue to ensure that English speakers could finally enjoy Dragon Force 2. I've left a link to the translation patch in the description below, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. Overall, this project was really well done. The story is well written and easy to understand, and the translation made the menus easily navigable. Dragon Force 2 is set 500 years after the events of the first Dragon Force game. Like the first, you choose from one of 8 total rulers of Legendra, whose kingdoms are involved in a complex struggle against each other and with an evil force that threatens the entire continent. Truly, one of the best aspects of the game, as with the first, is that each of the 8 paths reveals a unique storyline sequence that affects each of the rulers. Playing through one ruler's story will not tell the full tale, giving the game massive replay value. As a new innovation, Dragon Force 2 also gives unique battle music to every ruler, providing a distinct flavor no matter who you choose. It certainly behooves players to try multiple rulers before deciding on the one they like best. In most ways, Dragon Force 2 plays extremely similar to the first. The player takes control of enemy generals that build units to direct in battle. Enemy generals don't move, but do cast spells in battle that allow them to engage in duels with the enemy general or affect the development of the battle around them. The graphical effects with some of these are unforgettable and transpire as all the fighting is taking place. The game's overarching story shares similar themes to the first as well, and the graphical quality, musical style, menu system, and visual presentation is also very comparable. However, the title diverges from the original Dragon Force in several ways as well. First, unlike the first game, each commanding general can now support 2 distinctly separate types of troops. This means, for instance, that you can create combat units with both soldiers and mages, diversifying your army and making it more customizable. You can mix and match to have cavalry and monks, archers and beasts, etc. You name it, the combinations are virtually endless. Also, the maximum spell limit per general has been increased from 3 to 5, giving a bit more variety to each of them. Second, new to Dragon Force 2 is an incredible amount of voice acting. Unfortunately, the translation patch does not translate the audio, so you'll have to make do with English text and Japanese dubs. Even so, this was a nice added touch to the game, and few Saturn titles had this much voice acting. Finally, in addition to all the troop types from Dragon Force 1, there are several additional player troop types, as well as 2 new enemy troop types, which expands upon the complexity of the first game and allows you to customize your army to a greater extent. Dragon Force 2 features a soundtrack by Tatsuyuki Maeda, and its classical-oriented style is immediately recognizable if you played the first game. The score is filled with tunes with horns, strings, bells, and percussion, and almost has a mesmerizing quality to it. Of all the RPGs on the Saturn, I think this one has the best soundtrack overall. It's filled with both dramatic and somber tunes that fit into the story, and is certainly good enough to listen to outside of the game. It just really complements the fantasy atmosphere. I'd say if you played the game, you'll understand what I mean. You just have to hear it. In the end, Dragon Force 2 is an amazing game, certainly one of the best RPGs on the Saturn, and is well worth playing. If you're expecting it to revolutionize the Dragon Force franchise though, you'll be left a bit disappointed. While it does add some new facets and expands the universe of the franchise, it plays extremely similar to the first. So if you love that game, you'll also love this one. It's generally more of the same, but hey, that's not such a bad thing when it comes to Dragon Force. If you're a collector, you can still find a reasonably priced imported copy on eBay, but if you can't read Japanese, emulation with the translation patch is the only way to go. While the game may turn some fans of traditional RPGs off by its focus on gameplay over storyline, it has enough to offer in that regard also, and it's a must-have for those that adore strategy RPGs. If you're a fan of the PlayStation and Saturn era, as well as an RPG fanatic, you can't overlook this one. It's truly a shame that virtually no North American gamers had a chance to experience it back then. If you like this review and remember Dragon Force 2, leave a comment below about the most memorable aspect of the game to you. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell below to be alerted upon the addition of new ones. Also, please join my Discord community linked in the description and consider supporting my channel via YouTube's Join feature to receive member exclusives, such as advanced videos and complete video transcripts.